What if the sense of being protected, guided, and somehow set apart from everyone else isn't merely intuition? What if there's a real entity assigned specifically to you, one far more powerful than what most people will ever encounter? This isn't a matter of religion or folklore. This is a documented reality that Edgar Cayce, America's most verified mystic, personally witnessed for decades. And what he uncovered about why certain souls, the chosen ones, are paired with guardian angels of extraordinary strength will utterly change how you view your position in the spiritual realm. Imagine this: Virginia Beach, 1947. A woman steps into a quiet room, her hands shaking. She's heard the tales of the sleeping prophet who could peer beyond the veil, dividing our world from the angelic dimensions. Before she can even finish describing her spiritual troubles, Cayce stops her mid-sentence. He tells her something that freezes time itself. He describes her guardian angel in flawless detail, its presence, its emotions, its desperate efforts to reach her. But here's what shook her to her very core. He explained why her angel was so much mightier than others and what that revealed about who she truly was. Has this ever happened to you? That sensation of being watched over by something you can't quite put into words? That inner knowing that you're destined for something greater? That you're walking a different road than most of the people around you? Stick with me to the end, because what Cayce revealed about the bond between the chosen ones and their guardian angels will explain why you've felt this way your entire life. But before we dive in, please tap the like button and let me know where in the world you're tuning in from today. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from across the globe. And if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and clears throat, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Now here's what makes this truly unprecedented. Cayce didn't merely perceive guardian angels or speak of them in abstract philosophical terms. He engaged with them in the same manner you might engage with someone seated directly across from you. Witnesses, physicians, researchers, and skeptics who arrived determined to expose him as a fraud all recorded the same phenomenon, repeating itself again and again. People would compose letters to him, pouring out their most profound questions and personal struggles. And before those letters had even made their way through the postal system, Cayce would already be responding to them during his readings. The messenger was the guardian angel of the individual doing the writing. Pause for a moment and consider the implications. While someone hundreds of miles distant was still setting pen to paper, their heavenly protector had already journeyed to Cayce and delivered the message on a spiritual level. This wasn't something occurring once or twice amid mysterious circumstances. It was a consistent, repeatable, thoroughly documented reality that no one could dismiss or rationalize away. But this is where it becomes even more remarkable. Cayce uncovered something that transforms everything we think we know about spiritual hierarchy and divine protection. Not every guardian angel is equal. Some are mightier, more present, more actively engaged in the lives of the souls they watch over. And the souls who are paired with these extraordinary angels are not chosen at random. They are the selected ones. What you're about to learn regarding why they were given the most powerful protectors in the celestial realm will fundamentally reshape how you view every choice you've ever made, every near miss you've escaped, every instance when things somehow fell into place against impossible odds. Because what Cayce grasped that most people never do is that guardian angels aren't remote, impersonal energies drifting somewhere out in the cosmos. They are conscious beings possessing their own emotions, their own stake in your journey, their own reactions to the decisions you make each and every day. The physicians who spent years working beside Cayce, the researchers who came to investigate his gift, the everyday people who sought his counsel, they all bore witness to the same phenomenon. He wasn't speculating about angels. He actually saw them standing in the room with him. He conversed with them directly. He received their messages and interpreted them for the individuals they were guarding. This is where the concealed truth about the chosen ones becomes impossible to overlook. You see, there exists an invisible network of protection functioning behind the curtain of what we call everyday life. Most people journey through their lives entirely oblivious to it. They chalk up coincidences to randomness. They believe luck is merely statistical odds. They assume survival is purely biological. But the chosen ones know better. They've sensed the presence. They've lived through those unexplainable moments when something shifted at precisely the right instant, when danger bypassed them with no rational explanation, when guidance arrived out of thin air. If this type of content resonates with you, the concealed truths, the spiritual mechanics that most people never uncover, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This channel is designed for those who want to venture beyond the surface, and I'd love to have you with me on this journey. What Cayce observed was this: the souls who are conscious of this network, who recognize it, who actively engage in a relationship with their celestial guardians, their angels grow exponentially stronger. It isn't that certain people are simply born with superior protection. It's that their awareness and cooperation completely transforms the dynamic. Consider any relationship in your own life. When both sides are engaged, communicating, collaborating, that connection becomes unbreakable. The same principle is at work in the spiritual realm. And here's where this becomes even more remarkable. The messenger system that Cayce tapped into isn't constrained by physical limitations like time or space. Remember those letters that showed up after he'd already responded to them? That wasn't merely impressive parlor tricks. That was proof of a communication channel functioning beyond the limits that govern our physical world. The guardian angels of the people writing weren't waiting for ink to dry or mail carriers to deliver envelopes. They were already standing in front of Cayce, speaking for the souls they watched over, carrying messages across dimensions in an instant. Now, I want to dive even deeper into this subject because grasping that this messenger system exists is only the start. What truly matters is recognizing that you may already be operating inside it without even being aware of it. Those gut feelings that spared you from making an awful decision, that sudden impulse to take a different route that kept you out of an accident, that unexpected thought that led you to exactly the right person at just the right moment. These aren't random neural firings. This is your guardian angel reaching out through the only channels available when you're not consciously listening. The weight of this revelation is staggering because it means the chosen ones aren't simply passively protected. They are actively collaborating with beings who exist beyond time itself. When you make a choice aligned with your highest path, your angel has already glimpsed the outcome and has been trying to steer you toward it. When circumstances shift in your favor, seemingly out of thin air, it's because interventions happened on levels you cannot perceive with physical senses. Write in the comments, "I feel the presence." Because here's what Cayce witnessed that transforms everything about how we understand this bond. Your guardian angel isn't some cosmic bureaucrat assigned to observe your life from afar. This is a conscious being who has walked alongside you from your very first breath and who will remain with you until your last. They observe every choice you make, every transformation you undergo, every moment of victory and every defeat. And here's what shifts the entire dynamic. They feel emotions about all of it. When you make a decision aligned with your highest path, when you step into your power, when you act with courage and authenticity, Cayce could see something extraordinary unfold. The guardian angel experienced authentic joy, not abstract approval or cosmic contentment, but a real emotional reaction to watching the soul they protect grow and evolve. These beings are profoundly invested in your journey. They celebrate your triumphs not out of obligation, but because they truly care about your spiritual development. But the reverse is also true, and this is where most people falter without ever realizing it. When you veer away from your path, when you make choices rooted in fear or ego, when you disregard the guidance reaching out to you, your angel experiences real grief. Cayce described witnessing this spiritual sorrow, and it wasn't theoretical, it was tangible, visible in the dimensions he could access. Consider what that means. You have a companion who loves you unconditionally, who perceives your highest potential, watching you undermine yourself moment after moment. The chosen ones grasp something that transforms this entire dynamic. They don't view their angels as servants or cosmic helpers. They recognize them as active partners in their spiritual journey. And this recognition, this conscious collaboration, creates a bond so powerful that it amplifies everything. The angel's capacity to protect grows. The channels of communication become clearer. The interventions become more direct and more frequent. It's a relationship that deepens through mutual awareness and respect. But there's something that weakens this bond catastrophically, And when Cayce revealed what it was, people were astonished by how ordinary it seemed. What causes guardian angels to weep? The invisible barrier that keeps most people from receiving the full force of their celestial protection. It's ingratitude. Now, before your mind reduces this to simple manners or politeness, grasp what he truly meant. This isn't about forgetting to say thank you when someone holds a door for you. This is something far more profound and far more destructive. What Cayce identified was a fundamental blindness to reality itself. Most people drift through their days entirely unconscious of the miracle unfolding in every single moment. You woke up this morning. Your heart continued beating while you slept. Your lungs drew in oxygen without any command from you. Your brain assembled thoughts. Your eyes converted light into vision. None of this, absolutely none of it, was guaranteed. None of it was earned. Every breath you take is a gift you didn't create and cannot sustain on your own. If anything in this video shifted your perspective, even slightly, go ahead and tap that like button. It signals to me that this content matters to you, and it helps others searching for exactly this kind of truth find their way here. The chosen ones are the souls who break free from this invisible sin. They develop the vision to perceive what is actually occurring behind the scenes of ordinary existence. And when they do, something extraordinary happens. Their gratitude doesn't merely make them feel better, it literally amplifies their guardian angel's capacity to intervene in their lives, because gratitude opens channels that ingratitude keeps sealed shut. A soul that recognizes gifts can receive more. A soul that acknowledges protection can be protected more powerfully. Write in the comments, "I see the gifts." Now this is where the hidden truth becomes almost unbearable to witness. Cayce didn't only see guardian angels protecting people, he saw what happened to these celestial beings when their protection went entirely unnoticed, when their efforts were chalked up to random chance, when every gift they helped bestow was received with total silence. He described it as one of the most devastating things he'd ever witnessed in the spiritual realm. Picture spending every single moment of your existence watching over someone you love with all your heart, steering them clear of harm, placing opportunities before them, sustaining the very breath in their lungs and the beat of their heart. And day after day, week after week, year after year, they offer back nothing. Not even a flicker of acknowledgement. They simply accept it all as though the universe owed them their very existence, as though consciousness and protection and grace were somehow their birthright that just materialized by accident. When this pattern becomes a person's default way of thinking, Cayce could see the guardian angel enduring a grief so deep that he described it as spiritually visible. These beings have no physical form, so they don't weep human tears, but they undergo a profound spiritual anguish that's every bit as real, every bit as painful. They're watching a soul they've been entrusted to protect treat every divine gift as meaningless background noise, every intervention brushed off as coincidence, every moment of grace overlooked as if it never occurred. The transformation that takes place when a soul moves from this blindness into genuine gratitude is astonishing. The chosen ones grasp this dynamic on a level most people never reach. They consciously choose awareness. They deliberately practice recognition. And when they do, their guardian angels transition from grieving witnesses into powerful allies. The relationship fundamentally shifts because now there's partnership instead of one-sided effort. But here's what Cayce uncovered that runs even deeper than emotional response. Ingratitude doesn't merely make angels sorrowful. It actually changes the mechanics of what a soul is able to receive spiritually. This isn't metaphorical or symbolic. When a person drifts through months and years without ever truly recognizing what they've been given, something begins to shift within the soul itself. It starts to close. Not suddenly, not in any dramatic way, but slowly, steadily, and without fail. And here's the essential point most people overlook. This closing isn't caused by God pulling away or by the guardian angel giving up on their protective duty. The gifts continue to pour in. The grace continues to be extended. The hidden interventions continue to unfold. But a hand that's clenched shut cannot take hold of anything new. No matter how lavishly gifts are offered, the soul becomes like a sealed container. The blessings remain present, available, constantly being offered, yet they can no longer reach inside. Your guardian angel witnesses it all. Every time they rearranged circumstances for your benefit, every instance when they positioned exactly the right person in your path, every unseen intervention that kept you safe when you had no idea danger was near. But ingratitude produces a kind of spiritual blindness that renders you unable to perceive any of it. And the more you fail to notice, the less able you become to notice anything at all. It's a self-perpetuating cycle that continues until the soul functions in near total darkness, even while surrounded by light. The chosen ones interrupt this cycle through continual awareness. They keep their spiritual pathways open, not by performing elaborate rituals or fulfilling religious duties, but through a simple acknowledgement of what is truly there. And because grace moves through them without obstruction, their guardian angels become the most powerful protectors in the heavenly realm. It's not favoritism, it's partnership. Write in the comments, my channels are opening. So how do you actually break free from this cycle? How do the chosen ones transition from being souls whose angels mourn into being souls whose angels wield remarkable power? The answer Cayce offered is so straightforward that most people initially brush it aside as too basic to be significant. Yet that very simplicity is what makes it so profoundly effective. It doesn't demand that you enter a monastery, abandon your career, or devote hours to meditation. What it asks is something far harder, a total transformation in how you perceive reality from the instant you open your eyes. Tomorrow morning, before your hand reaches for your phone, before you begin mapping out your day or fretting over what lies ahead, pause for 30 seconds to acknowledge what most people never consciously notice. You woke up. Your heart kept pumping throughout your sleep. Your lungs kept drawing in oxygen. Your brain kept working. You have been granted another day of consciousness, another chance to experience being alive. That fact alone warrants sincere acknowledgement, because others who went to bed last night never saw this morning. Then turn your attention to what years of routine have conditioned you to overlook. You can see, light strikes your eyes and your brain converts it into the miracle of sight. You can hear sounds. You can move your body, even if imperfectly, even if it aches at times. You possess the gift of a physical form. There are people in your life to whom your existence matters. You have access to food, shelter, and resources that billions across history would have regarded as unimaginable luxury. When a soul truly begins to live this way, when gratitude ceases to be an occasional practice and becomes a perpetual awareness, something shifts in the spiritual realm. Something Cayce witnessed again and again. The guardian angel stops mourning and begins to rejoice. And that shift in the angel's state opens a doorway. Channels of grace that had been sealed start flowing once more. Opportunities that couldn't previously reach you suddenly become available. This isn't magic or manifestation gimmickry. It is alignment with the true workings of reality. From Cayce's observations, the individuals who lived the most spiritually powerful lives weren't those who avoided the most errors or adhered to the strictest rules. They were the ones who recognized the most gifts. They moved through the world with eyes wide open to the steady flow of divine generosity, and their natural reaction was thanksgiving. They perceived what was truly unfolding behind the scenes of ordinary life, and they acknowledged it. Cayce himself fully embodied this transformation, despite physical suffering that would have broken most people, despite the weariness of his work, despite the challenges, doubts, and attacks that accompanied his uncommon abilities. He gave thanks continually, not as a tactic to earn spiritual points or manipulate cosmic forces. He gave thanks because gratitude had become the bedrock of his entire way of being. It wasn't something he practiced. It was who he was. And this is the revelation that transforms everything about why the chosen ones are paired with the strongest guardian angels. It isn't random assignment. It isn't favoritism from the universe. The mightiest angels are matched with souls who choose to see, who intentionally acknowledge, who consciously offer thanks for the endless gifts already present in every moment. The power doesn't flow from the angel alone. It emerges from the partnership between a celestial protector and a soul that recognizes protection. Write in the comments, gratitude is my power. So here we are. And if you're still with me right now, there's something important I want you to know. You didn't merely scroll past. You didn't click away when the message went deep. You remained through this entire journey. And that reveals something about where you stand on your path right now. The very fact that you're receiving these words means you're one of the souls prepared to grasp the link between gratitude, angelic protection, and the extraordinary life the chosen ones are destined to live. If this spoke to you, if anything in Edgar Cayce's disclosures about guardian angels struck a chord that felt authentic, I'd sincerely appreciate you becoming part of this community by clicking that subscribe button. What we produce here isn't about chasing trends or cluttering your feed with noise. It's about uncovering the concealed layers of existence that most people never brush against. And having you here, participating in this conversation, is what makes it all meaningful. Drop a comment and let me know. Type "This message was meant for me," because honestly, if you've come this far, it almost certainly was. The algorithm didn't deliver you here by chance. Something within you was prepared to receive this particular truth at this particular moment. And if you gain something from what we uncovered today, go ahead and press that like button. It helps others discover content like this, and it signals to me that we're heading in the right direction together. There's a video right here that dives even further into how the chosen ones can deepen their bond with the spiritual realm in ways most people never reach. Click through and join me over there. I think you'll find it picks up right where this one ends. Thank you for your time, your focus, and your openness to seeing what's truly unfolding beyond the veil. I'll see you in the next.